Hey, it's Dave. Welcome back to my channel. So today I thought we would take a look at one of my all-time favorite AC/DC songs off of one of my all-time favorite AC/DC albums, Powerage. Powerage, I think I got that record. I got it in vinyl, and I know I got it used. And I think I got it like around 1982, 83. It was like one of the first ones that I went back to after I got Back in Black and For Those About to Rock. It might have even been 81. But it's a fantastic album. And has one of my favorite riffs. So I wanted to show that riff today. And then I'll talk about my usual nonsense. So the song is in F sharp. You know, he starts off with that little lick at the beginning. And I'll actually show you both parts because I think Malcolm's part is equally as important because that's what picks up the groove. In the beginning, Malcolm's just doing you know, he's just hitting those F sharps. When Angus is playing, now it's you know, it's like blues rock stuff, so everything's major and minor. So it starts off, and I've seen Angus play it. Angus plays it a lot right here, which is the only reason when I see him start, he starts it here. But later he has to play it here because he does this riff. So the riff is, which is a C sharp and an F sharp, to a C sharp and an E. Then he changes his fingering to a B and an E. Then a B and a D sharp. And then the riff. A sharp to F sharp. So let's take a look at that. So in the beginning he plays it like then it changes to he does a fill. Now I don't know if he's going, but to me it makes more sense just to keep it all here and go the F sharp and the C sharp and F sharp here. That's basically the whole riff to the tune. Now, after 4 bars of it, Malcolm changes from to so he's playing an F sharp here, like a power chord F sharp. So it's just root 5 root. And then he plays root 5 7. So it's, so in other words, the first chord is an F sharp, second chord is an F sharp 7. So it's, then he lifts up his ring finger. So it's a many ways you could call this chord. If we're basing it still on the F sharp, it would be with a 7 and an 11, or a 4, however you want to look at it. But anyway, so the riff is, then he plays a B chord, but plays it with the F sharp and the root. So it's F sharp, B, D sharp. So it's, then E to F sharp. Which I think is killer and really thickens up what Angus is doing there. So anyway, that's basically the whole tune. Then it gets to the C sharp, to the B, to the A, back to the riff. So, anyway, so that's basically how you play that song. I love that song, and I think it's a fun riff to work on. So I hope you pull up AC/DC's "Gone Shootin" on the on YouTube, and you can play along with it. It's a lot of fun. Also, there's a backing track one, which is the one that I was playing to in the beginning. I wanted to talk a little bit about lately. You know, it's funny. Like, so late at night, like I used to watch like a lot of videos of people doing channels kind of similar to this. And I always found myself, like, some are entertaining, but then some I used to have to fast forward through, and I'm always like, I guess because I really don't care so much about, like, you know, I was in the business for a long time, in the retail business and in the manufacturing end. So when I hear people start talking about, like, you know, what's going on with Gibson and stuff, it becomes old to me a little bit. But, I mean, for the most part, you know, like Gibson's going through some stuff. It doesn't take a genius, and you don't need to be on the web or feel like you're super in the know to see that Gibson's guitars, they're trying to come up with cool ways to make their models, like, for younger kids, but they miss the mark and they're overpriced. I mean, to buy a Les Paul Jr., I mean, the thing is if you're going to buy a Les Paul Jr., I mean, by a show of hands, no. Who wouldn't want the Les Paul? Like, for me, I would want a Les Paul Special double cut in TV yellow. It looks badass. What else do you need to do to it? Now, if you want to make an all black one and black out the neck, just have it as dark ebony, cool. But don't sit and charge over $5 for it. You're not going to get it, and it's just. And also, you know, as far as stores dealing with them, I'm not going to have to sit here and tell you, but they're not a favorite to deal with. I've had my issues, but whatever. It's irrelevant. What I was basically saying was, so now lately, you know, I always go down these rabbit holes online. Lately, I've been on a huge Kansas kick. I think that band's fantastic. I might do something with the song "Can I Tell You," although it's all the fiddle in the B3. I mean, that song's a monster. "Can I Tell You" by Kansas. "Song for America." "The Devil's Game." I think that band is completely underrated. I mean, what they did in like 1986 on the Power album with "All I Wanted" to become a pop band, I get it. Nobody likes it. But that early stuff, even the John Elefante stuff, is just great. And Elefante, I've gone down that rabbit hole where he's in the Jay Sekulow band with John Schlitt. It's great. It's great stuff. But, so I'm watching one night and I see a cousin of mine had posted on Facebook about Chinese pool. Chinese 8-ball. So I'm like, let me look up Chinese 8-ball. And they keep talking about it, that it's similar to a snooker table, but it's smaller, but has the same pockets. And I'm like, you know what? I hear snooker mentioned all the time. I have no idea what the hell this game even is. So I start watching snooker. I am addicted to snooker. I don't even, you know, I used to play a lot of pool in my youth. I don't even care if I ever pick up another pool cue in my life. I can just watch the game. It's great to watch. The whole, it's all in the UK. They go to Japan sometimes. But there's this guy, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Blink and you'll miss him. The Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan, is fantastic. This guy might be the best pool player, period, I've ever seen. I watched it, he played Earl Strickland, 96 at 9-ball and beat him. He's just a great player. He doesn't even look like he takes the other games seriously, but snooker, he's, it's just great. And I'm sure if you're watching this and you're overseas, you're in either Ireland, Scotland, or England, you're going to be like, duh, of course we know him. But I'll tell you right now, in the States, no one knows who the hell Ronnie O'Sullivan is. And this guy should be a household name. He's unbelievable. I highly recommend going on YouTube and Googling Ronnie O'Sullivan and just watching this guy's videos. And it's great. I love watching Dennis Taylor, his commentary. There's an old video of Dennis Taylor doing shtick where he's doing trick shots. I mean, it's just, it's a world unbeknownst to America. It's like we have no idea about any of this stuff. And I found it completely fascinating and thoroughly enjoyable. So I've just been going down this complete rabbit hole of that. But getting back to Kansas, I think like Kerry Livgren and I forget the other guy's name, Bill something. I think those guys are really great players. And I even think, like, even though the guitar is probably underutilized in the band, I think that band is just great. And I think they were like one of the bands, like when I was a kid, I remember people used to dismiss Journey, Foreigner, and Kansas as being like cheesy girl bands, or like, well, put them in the same as REO Speedwagon, which I absolutely would not. I mean, first of all, I think Foreigner's first 3 albums are fantastic. I thought there was a big mistake when Mick Jones decided to go the soft rock way. And I think that Lou Gramm definitely was in the right on that to keep it more of a rockin' band. Those first 3 records are great. With it peaking, like almost going, you know, like a 9. The next album's like a 9.5 Double Vision, and then Head Games is back to like maybe a 9, not as good as the first album, but really close. And Journey's fantastic. I mean, I love Escape, and I think Frontiers would have been just as big as Escape if the record label didn't get involved, because you would have had songs like Only the Young and Ask the Lonely, and that would have been a great album. Although I definitely think one of my all-time favorite songs by them is Troubled Child. And it's a great song in 6/8. I showed the drum student that I teach playing that, and but Kansas is I think they're a great band. Very musical. Songs like Icarus, Born on Wings of Steel is great. I can't say enough. There's so much stuff that I want to tackle and then play for you, but I haven't even had a chance to pick up the guitar when I listen to it. I'm taking it like to the gym with me, and I'm like just blown away by how fun the music is. And like I said, even the Elefante stuff is just great. So I've been completely digging that. Recently on my Facebook, I posted another video of Cam, the drummer, playing a song by The called Good Morning Beautiful that David Palmer plays. And I tagged David in it because I know David from back in my West LA days. And he even thought it was awesome because David showed me how the drum part went. But I wanted him to see, here's a 13-year-old kid for the first time hearing the. And the kid did a great job. In fact, here's a clip. Yeah, so this guitar, I'm trying to break it in. I know that some of the nut is a little tight, so I just do like a lot of like country style bands, you know, like the, and try to get that nut to, you know, try to get some friction just to make it so it's just the right. Anyways, anyways, enough fun for today. Very good.
How's that for a topper?
You're right on target. Right on the money. Everything you said. You hit the nail right on the head with your comments, what you're saying today. You're 150% correct.